very special. It says, serve God to the full capacity in every practical circumstance. That's a mouthful, but yet a statement that is very unique in itself. Because every practical circumstances she faced, she fulfilled. And I'm going to leave you with one little funny incident that happened at the hospital here in Winnipeg. Pastor Milt and Pastor Klassen, where are you? There he is, way back over there. Okay. We were all in the hospital room together one afternoon to go and just pay our respects and so forth and pray with her. I showed up there, and then these two gentlemen were already there, so I stepped into the room, and I said, wow, I said, you got a room full today. And so they introduced me to Pastor Klassen and Pastor Milt, and she, as quick as a wit, Lenora spoke up and she said, wow, she said, I feel pastorized today. So with that, I'll leave you with a good laugh for the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Open mic time now. The condition is that you have to come up on stage if you want to share. For certain reasons, I'm not sure why, but that's what I was told. So please come forward if you have something to share. It's your chance.
Okay, can you hear? Oh, yeah, that's loud. Okay. Our daughter Stephanie was a really good friend and a really close cousin with Lenora. And she can't be here today, but Tina asked me to read the tribute that Stephanie wrote. So I'll read that for her. Saying goodbye to someone you love so dearly is painful. It's hard not to question why such a young, vibrant life had to be snatched away. To be honest, reality isn't sinking in yet, and it feels like a horrible nightmare. I feel emotionally drained. I just want to say it was all a mistake, and we'll make many more happy memories together. But deep inside, I know it's true. She's gone. I will never see her again until heaven, and oh, what a joy that will be. We grew up together as little girls. We spent hours upon hours playing house, chasing each other outside, and giggling as two little best friends. We even had matching nightgowns that made sleepovers all the more a party. We went to school together for a number of years and lived only a few miles apart. As we grew older, we became very close and shared our struggles, joys, dreams, and visions with each other. Although we spent a lot of times as just the two of us being together, we also loved hanging out with our sibs. There was never a dull moment when we got together. Square wave. The night of my wedding, we talked till past midnight. I had no idea that it would be one of our last heart-to-heart chats. She had so much vision, so many dreams that were left unfulfilled. However, the days she did have were life to the fullest. You could see the radiance of Christ shine through her eyes wherever she went. I think she touched more lives than she ever got credit for. Lenora, your passing has ripped a hole in my heart. You battled this sickness long and hard, but remained strong. When it seemed nothing could get worse, you pulled through. They even tell me you sang in the midst of it. But that was exactly who you are. That was who you were. Somehow, you always managed to see a positive side to things and fully believed that all things work together for good to those that love God. You never doubted God. I treasure the phone calls we had while you were in the hospital. Can we please have just one more? By our last call, you weren't clear for the most part. You told me about going out in the rain and taking pictures of gorgeous flowers. You loved the beauty of nature. Then you told me you had to hurry and say bye to your doctor yet. I sat on the other end of the line in a daze, wondering if there was actually something to this. I tried changing the subject, but soon you named someone you couldn't wait to see, someone who had passed away a long time ago, and you got extremely excited. I hung up the phone in tears as reality slowly started sinking in. Maybe she really won't be around much longer. You longed for heaven, and you finally got your desire. You must be one of heaven's brightest angels. I can only imagine the joy you're experiencing right now. The blindness that was so hard to accept has been taken away, and I can just see your eyes dancing at the beauty of heaven. I know even now you would want us to rejoice and trust God, for his ways are always best. My heart is broken, and I will miss you dreadfully, but someday, we will meet again. I really treasure the times that I was able to spend with Lenora about a month ago when we were here for a visit, and just staying at her bedside through the night, and just the things we would talk about, and to see her faith, just such a vibrant faith, and that really challenged me and encouraged me. And the other thing that I really noticed with her is if her mind was so weak and she couldn't think, just start singing or start praying, and she was right there. And I know the one time I asked her if I could pray for her, and she said yes. So I prayed, and after I was done, she prayed. And she prayed big. She prayed for her ministry. She prayed for anything and everything but herself. And just such a role model in her unselfish life.
Okay, I will put the mic down on the podium here, so just feel free to come up and just put the mic back down when you're done. Thank you.
Lenora, I remember the last time we were together before you went to the hospital. It was such a special moment. We said goodbye, gave each other a hug, and blessed each other. Our friendship felt so warm. You were such a special and true friend. I remember going to school together, going to your birthday party. We graduated from high school together and got baptized the same day. I remember the times you'd come over for night and the chats we had, or the time we went to Sulako together for 2 weeks to teach VBS. Such precious times. When Stephen and I got married, you served the head table. You served me. Then later, you were over at our house for lunch. How I'd love to have you over again. I remember one of the last times I visited her, she gave me a hug and whispered, "I love you." She has brought heaven closer to my heart. Lenora, I'm going to miss you a lot. You are such a caring, loving friend. I can hardly imagine what you're doing right now, but I know it's something wonderful. I love you.
One special thing that Lenora told me was that I was her little shadow. And I'm going to play the song that I last played with her together.
Hi, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Isaac Elias. I've had the privilege of, I should maybe say Lenora's grandparents are my mother-in-law's aunt and uncle, Uncle George and Aunt Mary. I've had the privilege of knowing them for a number of years, and I guess by what I was hearing here today about Lenora reminded me of the words that we would read in Job, where he was a man that had many struggles. And to me, that is something I always loved, the way he kept his faith amidst the challenges that he had. I would like to read Job chapter 1, verses 20 to 22. It says, "Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, 'Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked will I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.' In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly." I always think that's such a precious gift, to be able to worship and thank the Lord regardless of the circumstances that we face in life. When I think of the part of praying for Lenora to be healed and her passing on instead of being healed, that is something I always say, or quite often say, when we're healed temporarily, then we're still on this side of life. But when we get healed permanently, then we're on the other side of life. At the time where my mother had passed on and my aunt had passed on, I found it interesting. My cousin made the comment, death was so final. My brother said, so temporary. And I would like to encourage the Loewens that they view the eternal side of it and see it as so temporary. The Bible speaks of that we're as a vapor. So it won't be long, and we can meet again. When I think of the words that are written in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 to 4, it says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance." That is something I sometimes say, I'm glad God doesn't have a memory like mine. He would forget some of us and so on. Where we're blessed, He makes no mistakes. He does everything right, even though we quite often don't understand it. But He's sovereign, and so we can rest assured that in Lenora's case too, and with the Loewens, He hasn't forgot you. He's looked after you, and may you trust in Him and keep looking up, and that He will see you through. May God be with you.
Before Lenora died, my prayer was that I would be able to play for her yet one time before she died. And I didn't get the chance. I have her violin here right now, and I'll play one song here for her.